Yo, what's up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we've actually got some new leaks to go over from none other than Temporeal. This is presumably going to be for Season 2 and maybe even 3 of Battlefield 6. We've got new weapons, new vehicles and equipment. Unfortunately, no news on which maps may be coming to the game, but these were apparently put into the files with the latest update, and then they've been consequently data mined by Temporeal. So, let's take a look at this. There's going to be quite a bit to break down here. As usual, if you guys enjoy the content, hit the sub button, hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for the support. And let's just begin and dive in here with the new weapons. So the first one here is the MG5. You guys will of course be familiar with the MG4 from previous Battlefield games. It's an LMG, so we're going to be adding one to the list of available weapons. And it's worth noting, by the way, that this is the only one of the weapons that is specifically slated for Season 2. The other three I'm about to mention, it isn't really clear yet when these weapons are coming to the game. It could be Season 3, maybe even Season 4 or beyond that. We just don't know. All we know is that they're in the files. So the next one is the CZ Bren 2. So this is a Czech assault rifle or a battle rifle. Again, we've already seen this in previous Battlefield games. You guys are going to basically notice quite a theme here. And whilst we are using the regular real-life names for these weapons, you can assume that DICE are going to change the names once they actually are released, but what they do with the in-game files is they usually call them by the real-life names, and then when the weapons are released, they change them, I guess so they don't have to end up in any weird legal battles with certain manufacturers. The next one is the CZ Scorpion Evo 3, which is a carbine. So what's that? We've got an assault rifle, we've got a carbine, and an LMG. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty good selection there. And then finally, we have the Scorpion VZ61, which is going to be a sidearm. It is, I believe, a fully automatic weapon. I think it comes with a 10 or a 20 round magazine. And at the moment, we don't have any full automatic sidearms in Battlefield 6. So this is definitely going to be a welcome addition. Now, you may realize that most of these weapons are Czechoslovakian. So it kind of begs the question, are we going to see some kind of like Czechoslovakian themed expansion? Is there going to be a map set specifically there? Some people wondered if propaganda was going to be set there. I think the original propaganda was clearly inspired by North Korea, but according to Temporeal, the remaster of propaganda, which if you aren't clued in, has been data mined at several points, is set in Bulgaria. So maybe it's like part of some Eastern Europe focused season. Maybe there's going to be a bit of a continuation to the storyline of the game there. But obviously map wise, nothing has been confirmed yet. Now it's probably going to surprise absolutely nobody that the new vehicle in Season 2 is going to be the AH-6 Little Bird. We of course saw it released during a bit of an oops moment from DICE. They basically made it available in Portal. People were very quick to figure that out, and then they very quietly sort of dusted it aside and changed it so you can no longer spawn this vehicle in Portal, and for good reason. They wanted to save it for Season 2. Kind of messed that up, but we do have some more information on the various loadouts that are going to be available. So first of all, for the primary weapon, we have the regular old miniguns. We have the GAU-19, which I believe are, like, they fire 50 caliber rounds, so that sounds pretty crazy. And if you're wondering, Ghost, what is an LR-30? From this video I've found, apparently it is a low recoil 30mm cannon that can be mounted on a Little Bird. And here is a bit of a video demonstration of what that looks and sounds like. I mean, do you see the size of those shells? That thing is going to be pretty damn juicy. So for secondary weapons here, we have APKWS, which stands for Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System, which is a design conversion of Hydra 70 unguided rockets with a laser guidance kit to turn them into precision guided munitions. So essentially, it sounds like it's going to be smart rockets for the Little Bird. Then we have Hellfire missiles, which I'm going to assume are basically AGMs or air-to-ground missiles. We've seen these on Little Birds in past Battlefield games. Then we have the Hydra 70s, which are just the good old rocket pods. And then you've got Stingers, which basically are AA missiles. So nothing like too crazy or out of the ordinary. I think like smart rockets is definitely a new thing. And it looks like they're maybe going to be like the default loadout there, the same way that they are on the attack helicopter. I do wonder if they've put that in just to give the new players in Battlefield 6 a bit of a helping hand. As for equipment, we have the flares, we've got motion sensor, and then we have thermal smoke. I don't really understand how thermal smoke is going to work on a helicopter when you've got flares, but I suppose we'll find out soon enough. As for the passenger seat, and there is one, you're going to get a thermal scanner, which sounds like thermal vision of some kind to be able to spot enemies, and a directional jammer. So not sure what that one's going to do, but I'm assuming it's going to be something to do with staving off lock-ons, maybe something to do with lock-on time. Now, speaking of vehicles, and this one has me quite excited, apparently in Season 3, we're going to be getting the jet ski, and the description for this one reads, a fast, agile watercraft perfect for rapid assaults and quick getaways across rivers and coastal zones. Now, this may be nothing, right? They may just add this to RedSec, to the Battle Royale. You know, we've already seen rib boats and stuff like that. But it could be the startings of naval warfare coming to Battlefield 6. Could there be an attack boat on the horizon or somewhere in our future, guys? I really hope so. But I'd also prefer if they fix the current vehicles in the game before they go adding more, as there is quite a lot of work to be done there, but let's not get down that rabbit hole. And finally, that leads us on to the gadgets. So there are 4 different gadgets he's found here. First, we have the G1 Frag, which is the airburst grenade launcher. Chambered in 40mm grenades, this weapon fires frag grenades that can explode mid-flight to eliminate targets behind cover. So basically, it's like Zane's gadget from Battlefield 2042, where you set it to explode at a certain distance manually, which will generally be wherever somebody is hiding behind cover, and then you fire it above the cover and the grenade will explode above their head and take them out. Then we've got the GL40 Sticky, which is a sticky grenade launcher, chambered in 40mm sticky grenades that can adhere to surfaces, vehicles, or soldiers, can be carried standalone or underslung. So again, we saw this in Battlefield 2042. That was the first Battlefield game to have this sticky grenade launcher, and of course the way you're supposed to use it is sort of hope that whoever you stick it to, they run back into their teammates and you end up getting a bit of a double or a triple whammy. Bit of a cheesy gadget in my opinion. It wasn't like that crazy in Battlefield 2042, you know, people used it a lot at first, but then it's sort of fizzled out and found its place, you know. It could be annoying to get stuck by that thing, but I'm going to assume that both that and the airburst grenade launcher sound like they are going to be assault gadgets. Then we have the A320A1 anti-vehicle grenade launcher, chambered in 40mm, once again, anti-tank grenades, ideal for combating enemy armor and can be carried standalone or underslung. Now, what I wonder is this going to be for the engineer class, or is this something that they're going to put on maybe the assault class as well to allow them to chip in even more damage against vehicles? Obviously, I don't want to read too much into this, but it's going to be interesting to find out. And then we have the RGO Impact Grenade. This is one from Battlefield 4, a frag grenade that provides a quick explosion at the cost of less damage, detonates on contact. So with this nade, as soon as it hits the ground or a wall or any contact point, it will just explode. Doesn't do as much damage as a regular frag grenade, but still nice to have additional options. Now, if you're wondering about maps, somebody did actually ask Temporal here any info in the files about old maps making a return, and he says the usual suspects: Propaganda, Talar Market, which is from Battlefield 3, Propaganda being from Battlefield 4, and then Downtown, which is from Hardline. Still not entirely sure about this one, but he does say, I think Propaganda is next on the release list, but that's just a guess based on the number of references. I've heard that some of these were basically like quick mock-ups to see how things will play in Battlefield 6, and they're not necessarily all slated for release. So again, I wouldn't read too much into not just that, but everything I've mentioned in the video, guys. What this means is that he's found these things in the files, but that is no like guarantee that they are going to be released in the game at any point. They could be old things. I think the new things he's found, why would they be put in there if they weren't planning to be released at any point? That wouldn't really make a lot of sense. And I will say that Temporal has a pretty good track record of probably over like 95% of getting things correct, but just got to put that disclaimer out there. Take all of this with a pinch of salt. So leave me your comments down below. As always, guys, if you enjoyed today's video or found it informative, leaving a like is a big help, as is subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.